The Southern Man Speaks magazine, the official magazine of the New Nation of Islam. Pick up your copy at Gerald Gas Station, 13110 West 7 Mile Road. Graphic, located in Northwest Activity Center, 18100 Miles Road. Bridge 2, 17600 8 Mile Road. To get a subscription, 601-786-9788. The Southern Man Speaks magazine. Get your copy today.
SOS Graphic Design provides agency-only professional graphic design services from established companies to startups and individuals, creating a simple logo to complete rebranding and delivering visual communication for print media. Every single unifying objective to set your business apart. We are at your service. 313-342-2. That's 313-342-2166 or online at www.sosgraphicdesigns.com. Renaissance Road Center. Safe family fun for all ages. Live entertainment and beverages. And be sure to stop in our phone shop for all your bowling needs. Renaissance Bowling Center, 19600 Woodward Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, 48203. Come out and have a ball. Hey sisters, are you looking for quality hair braiders and stylists who specialize in natural hair? Then check out Sisters Braid School, located at 17600 West 8 Mile Road in Southfield. We specialize in children's braids, kinky twists, Havana twists, box braids, individual, molly twists, crochet braids, and more. And best of all, we cater to you, providing all of your hair care needs. For additional information or to schedule your appointment, call 248-552-6202 or visit us on the web.
You're watching W33BY, Detroit, Highland Park, Michigan. 78.1 WHBR, Highland Park. WVIE, 107.3 FM Charlotte, Amalia, Virgin Islands. The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of W33BY, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
Testing.
Are you tired of reading the Holy Scriptures and not really understanding what's read?
This conference is being recorded. A recording
And ever since that's what you feel, you know, someone you may have a different view than your own, then let's talk to one another. Let's reason with one another on a Scriptural Discussion with the Son of Man. A live broadcast every Sunday at 12 noon on TV 33, FM 88.1 WHBR, and Comcast Cable. So why don't you call and let's discuss the Holy Bible, and if you have one, the Holy Quran, and come to an agreement about the Holy Scriptures and their true meaning. So tune in to a Scriptural Discussion with the Son of Man every Sunday at 12 noon, right here on TV 33, FM 88.1 WHBR, and Comcast Cable. You can call in live on the air at area code 213-868-4336, 868-0342, and 868-0351. Of course, the area code is 313. That's 313-868-4336, 868-0342, and 868-0351. And now let's go live. It's a Scriptural Discussion with the Son of Man. Oh, yeah. I've been looking forward to that.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, the Truthful, and the Most Just, I greet all of you once again who hunger and thirst for righteousness. I greet you all with the greeting words of peace. May Allah's salam alaikum. We we want to first give those who have disagreements with us or want to point out wrong that they find in us. We want to afford you that opportunity. You know, I found that most people in this world that can point their finger at others are unwilling to acknowledge their own faults. People in this world, they love to look around for someone to blame. It's always somebody else's fault. When you ask them why they did something, they say, so-and-so made me do this. No, ain't no better made you do nothing but your own mind. You know, when human beings take responsibility, learn to take responsibility for their condition, even if the responsibility of your condition is not wholly yours. It may not be wholly your fault. But if nobody's handcuffed you and you are free to walk around in your community, it's partially your fault that your community is in the shape it's in. And I say partially because, you know, you can tell the condition of a person's mind by the condition of their community. That is a reflection. Now, it does not necessarily, I mean, a nasty house, a nasty mind, you know, when people live in filth and whatnot, that's easy solvable. I mean, you can clean up a house, clean up a yard, clean up a community just by people getting all together and doing what we used to do in the Marine Corps every morning. The drill instructor would tell us, police the area. And we'd pick up every cigarette butt, everything that was on the deck, the ground. You know, I mean, they in the Marine Corps, they called the ground the deck. Because when you think of it, we are riding on a laden ship called Earth. And everything is on the deck of the Earth or the surface. But so, you know, we could make the grounds look real nice. Just like you can mess it up quick, you can clean it up quick. You know, but if you take a pig and put him in a beautiful mansion, he's going to turn it into a pig pen. We had a saying when we was growing up. We used to see brothers from the country, from the South. We call them country. You know, I happen to be from the South myself, even though I was I grew up in Los Angeles. I was born here in Mississippi. But you know, we see brothers. Sometimes brothers would move from the South, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, to LA, or they come visit there, and they'd have, from Texas or whatnot, and you'd see a hood ornament with some horns, cattle horns on there, and they had skirts on the car and mud flaps, and we look at them and say, look at country there, and that's just something that people in America do. We make fun of each other. I mean, most of us grew up doing that, and that's why we are more childlike than we like to acknowledge. America is a nation of grown bodies with not all the way there adult minds. We that's why people that crack jokes and cuss and swear and go on, we pay to go and see that. And so, but anyway, my point is that when you really, I mean, we used to say you could take now this is what we used to say. Now this is not something that is good, but it made our point. You could take the nigger out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the nigger. And that is another way of saying you can move a person out of a poverty-stricken area. It's easy to move people out of a poverty-stricken area, but it's not so easy to move the mindset of poverty out of people. Many people think poverty is a condition that you can move away from. You cannot move away from poverty any more than you can move away from stinky underarms. You got to take a bath. Do you understand? And so the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he didn't try to move us out of poverty. He got busy moving poverty out of us. I don't think in terms of, I can go to any country, and I want the black countries all over the world, the leadership, to know that I'm available. I don't believe in staying someplace where I'm not wanted either. So I want all of our people all over the diaspora to know that I'm open to moving someplace where people want me there. But and those who want to come with me, you're welcome to come with me. Matter of fact, you got to be willing to accept me and those with me. That's what you do when you find out that people just don't want you. You don't stand there. You can't, laws are supposed to take up the slack in a civilized country to stop people who hate you from mistreating you. But when there's no one to uphold laws, and when laws are made to justify mistreating you, it is fruitless on your part to stay around arguing with people, trying to make them care about you and make them respect you when it is evident that they don't have any intentions of showing you respect, because in order to show you respect, people have to, first of all, that's a quality of manhood. A civilized man, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, a fool can insult a wise man, but a wise man cannot insult a fool because it is not his nature. Now, you can either stay around arguing with people, begging them to do justice or do right by you, or you can do right by yourself and go someplace where you can live in peace. Do you understand? So, you know, I'm a believer in getting out the way of people who uh, don't want me around. I try to get out the way. So, but in the meantime, I want to invite you, as I was instructed to do, to repent. Treat others as you would like to be treated. It really is a strange phenomenon to see people historically complain of being mistreated, complain of tyranny, complain of tyrants, and then they become that which they complained about. It's amazing. But anyway, so I'm going to soon get out the way, so because I'm in the way right now. As Lot was in the way, Of course, Lot didn't tell him he was getting out of there. But since don't nobody believe I'm who I say I am, no way, it don't make no difference what I tell you. So, but I want to say to those who disagree with me, you have not yet proved to me that I'm wrong about anything. So I can't cut you no check for $20,000, but I'm still willing to. If you have something you want to show that I'm teaching that's wrong, it's very important that I do this. You see, if I didn't do it like this, then you could say, well, we could have showed you that you was wrong, and we thought you was wrong, or we thought this. No, you didn't. Because I put myself at your disposal and told you whatever it is you think I'm teaching that's false, or, I don't run from people who contradict me. I run to them. That's what a ram, that's what his horns is for. They ain't for killing. They for giving you a good hard button so that you will stay away from him. So I have my horns coming out of my hands. They're called Holy Bible and Holy Quran. They're not for killing. They're for correcting. That's what the book says. Notice, withhold not what from a child. And what the scripture says is for this correction. All right? And you see, I use them to correct people. People get mad. They go away stinging. Just like when somebody put something on your behind when you was a little boy. Now, if that never happened to you, you don't know what you missed. You see? But it happened to me, so I can teach and use that as an example. You see? Now, here's a brother who left her. I don't know if it's a brother or not. His name is Thomas Simmons. But he left something on our site. You know, a lot of times people leave things on your website, especially a website like mine, on my videos, that they cannot dispute anything I say. So they leave a comment hoping it will trip somebody up that may just come to the page. And a lot of people, they pay attention to a lot of hearsay instead of checking something out for themselves. So people like this person, Thomas Simmons, I invited him to come on. I told brother to invite him to come in. He put this note, this little note here. He said, if you are Allah and still calling yourself Muslim, Muslim means to submit. Actually, it means one who submits. And but I'll let him get by with that. He said, you will only be submitting to yourself. And so, you know, he put that out there to try to trip somebody else up. But, you know, if and that is true. That's one of the reasons why we say a Muslim's word is his bond. And bond is life. And before my word shall fail, I will give my life. Meaning what? Once God tell you he gonna do something, he got to do it. Unless you broke the agreement. That's with any contract, though. If you in a contract with somebody and they don't hold up to their side, they can't hold you to your side. They let you out of the contract when they broke it. I was thinking about AT&T. You know, I talk about AT&T when they don't treat us right, or when I don't think they treat us right. When I had the brother that called AT&T that handles our account, and they sent me a message through him, and I appreciated it for them doing so, because the phone's been down since yesterday. They was out all day yesterday. As far as I know, they was out all day yesterday. Every time I tried to use it, it wasn't on. And so when I had our engineer to call, who handles our account, they told him that it was a problem with the one of the boxes. What kind of box? What? The cable boxes had been damaged, and they told him it would be ready by 8 o'clock. And they would let me know they listening in and they know what time my meeting starts. so I appreciated that. You know, that was a reassuring thing that it'll be up by 8. Just give us time. So I appreciate AT&T for that. You know, I've been with AT&T for what, 30-something years. We've been using them. You know, even when they was charging me $800-some a month for a phone bill, because I was hooking people up all over the country. As long as I had the money, I was gonna do it. And so Allah fixed it. They thank Ronald Reagan. He deregulated. When they deregulated made the phone companies, broke up the monopoly that AT&T had. Then them cards start coming out where you could buy minutes for little or nothing, and I was so thankful. But I guess my family was too, because we was on a shoestring budget around here. But anyway, we it's always good to give people. If you're going to point the finger when you think somebody is wrong, and you're going to get on the housetop and talk about that, when they do something right, you ought to get back up there. Do you understand? And that's because I believe in justice. I don't like anyone to think that I'm just piling on. I don't like nobody to think that I'm just a person who walking around with a harboring ill will towards anybody. It makes me happy when somebody that I was mad at repent. So and it should make us happy. What you fussing at them for if you don't want them to repent? I mean, I never heard people say when you get on them and then you try to tell them, they get on you, and you tell them, well, look, I'm really sorry. I don't want to hear it. Wait a minute. Well, what you getting on me for? If you don't want to hear me say I'm sorry. I don't say I apologize. I say I'm sorry. You see? And if I didn't mean you no harm, I would tell you I didn't mean it like that. But anyway, now here this fella. Let me show you something here. I like to find these things and show them to you. So that you don't think that I make up a teaching. It is not permissible for me to make up my own teaching. To speak with you. Allah told me to speak with His words. And so that's what I do. So when we Here it is. To show you that Allah is bound by his word. That's why when Noah's son was finna be destroyed, Noah reminded Allah of what he said. Noah said, but my son, he's of my family. And you know, he reminded Allah that he had said he was going to save his son. And Allah told him, he said, he is not of your family. He is the embodiment of unrighteous conduct. So don't be petitioning me for him. He will be drowned. And that was that. And so Noah begged Allah's pardon. It's like Abraham when the Lord told him, I'm on my way to Sodom to see if the cry of it is as bad as I heard. This is for all y'all that think God don't need to go find out. Oh yeah, we need to go find out. And Abraham said, now, shall not the judge of the earth do right? He said, now, peradventure I may speak. He said, what if you find 50 there? You see, Abraham was worried about Lot too, you know. He knew his nephew was there. And the Lord told him, he said, well, if I find 50 there, I'll spare it for the 50's sake. And so that's why Lot had to get out of there before anything would happen. You see. So you notice how peaceful it is around me? That's because you're around me. And Allah is with me. You see? Yeah. The messenger said, little do they know that the Muslims in their midst is a protection for them. I remember once he was talking, he said, you have a very valuable piece of property in your midst. It's up to you to try to keep it in your midst. That's what he told them. So, I notice ain't nobody saying nothing. Now they just sneak on there and try to drop something on there and hope I don't find it, I guess. They know I'm going to invite them in here. But anyway, in chapter 32 of the Holy Quran, and let's go to the this is verse 12. It talks about believers and disbelievers, a comparison to them. It says, and couldst thou but see when the guilty hang their heads before their Lord and say, our Lord, we have seen and heard, so send us back. We will do good. We are now certain. Remember now, when the moon was put out there, and all that water that was in the valley, that ocean, when the moon got out so far, it turned over and all that water fell back here. Guess what the people that disbelieve Noah said? Noah opened to us. Huh? We believe now. We believe you. Huh? Well, now look what it say. And if we had pleased, we could have given every soul its guidance. like we did Noah and Lot. But the word from me was just. I will certainly fill hell with the jinn and men together. The Bible said like this: God spared not angels, but cast angels into hell that disobeyed him. Jinn and men.
Yes, sir.
You do know angels are men, right? If you don't, go and read the story a lot again. What them sissies said when they was out there. Bring them men out here that we might know. They didn't know them men was angels. Messengers of God. You better look up angel. The seventh angel standing here talking to you now. Why you think the mystery of God is finished? Is being finished now. Ain't no more mystery about who God is. You know, it's impossible. The book says it's impossible for God to lie. Why? So let's read it first. Where's that at, bro? I thought some of y'all was ahead of me there. You know, sometimes y'all be done found it for me.
Hebrews chapter 6, sir.
Is it Hebrews chapter 6? Sure is. In the 6th chapter of the book of Hebrews, it says, now listen now. Let's see. Let's go to the 13th verse. For when God made promise to Abraham, you know, if God make a promise, it's called prophecy. Huh? You know what prophecy is? That's somebody telling you what's going to happen. You know how he know it's going to happen? So he going to make it happen. He says, for when God made promise to Abraham because he could swear by no greater, he swore by himself. And what that boy said to me. If you are Allah and still calling yourself Muslim, Muslim means to submit. You will only be submitting to yourself. I don't know nobody else worth submitting to. I gave you a chance to show me why I should follow you. Ain't none of you did it. Then why shouldn't I follow my way? My ways are not yours, that's for sure. You notice. I have to, you even have to remind me, and the only reason it come up now is because I thought about what you do. They have to remind me to tell people to put some money in the account, whatnot. I don't say nothing about that. I ain't here to beg you for no money. I ain't supposed to have to beg you for no money. You supposed to already have my money put up. Tithes. This is called tithes and offering. And it was supposed to be in the warehouse. I know where they put money as a warehouse for money. It's called B-A-N-K. Bank. And they just got stacks and stacks of money in there. How come my money ain't in an account somewhere? From every one of you. Will a man rob God? Yet you have robbed me. And you say, wherein have we robbed you, nigga? In tithes and offering. And that's what you get for entertaining evil thoughts about me. You ain't never should have had in your mind the word nigga comparing that to me. I don't care how white you are. You just a damn fool. I could have saved you. I could have saved all of you. And instead, you're about to be destroyed. Oh, don't worry. You're going to, what did the Oracle tell Neo? Oh, you're going to remember you don't believe in none of this stuff. No way. remember that. Yeah. You're going to have a cookie. That's what you tell them. Go on, sit down and eat you something. And just tell yourself that man is crazy. I know plenty of people think I'm crazy. You know, whenever let me tell you something. Just go around being nice to people. You go around being nice to people, I promise you. You just share what you have with them and do that. You notice you got some children that's not all there, and they'll just give away everything. Isn't that right? That's what people in this world say crazy people do. So I know you think I'm crazy because you wouldn't do what you see me doing. Especially if you was living in an old raggedy house. Well, like I live in and stuff. You'd be trying to fix you up a nice big house. I would much have a nice, big, beautiful world to live in. So, but anyway, so you see what you said, it's true. Once we put our word out there, we have to submit to our word. And so the book says Abraham, he was there, God made him a promise. And since God couldn't swear by nobody greater, he swore by himself. And he says, you'll notice it's another place in there. It says, as I live, saith who? Every knee shall what? That's just another way of swearing by yourself. As sure as I live, every knee shall bow before me, and every tongue shall confess to the truth that I speak, which is my God. And it says, saying, surely blessing, I will bless thee, and multiplying, I will multiply thee. And so after he had patiently endured, he obtained the promise. You seek Allah's assistance through what? Patience. After Abraham was patient and had patiently, you think Allah you gonna just tell him I believe in you, and he ain't gonna try you? Do men think that they will be left alone, or women, that they'll be left alone on just saying we believe and will not be tried, while all others were tried before you? For men verily swear by the greater, and an oath for confirmation is to them an end of all strife. You know, I mean, I'll show you an example. In the South here, especially, the white man in the South, he had a way of dealing with his fellows. Matter of fact, he had a way of dealing with everybody in what you call the gentleman's South. If he gave you his word, that was it. Didn't need no contract. His word was his contract. Well, that's what the book says. For men verily swear by the greater. And that's why you notice they say, so help me God. Now, and it says, an oath for confirmation is to them an end of strife. Once they give you their word, that does away with argument. Are you sure you're going to? You ain't got to go through all that. If he gave you his word, that's that. Okay. Wherein God willing more abundantly to show unto the heirs of promise the immutability of his counsel. You know what immutability means? You can't silence it and you can't contradict it. And it cannot be contradicted. Immutable. It ain't going to be taken back. It was said and it will be done. The immutability of his counsel confirmed it by an oath that by two immutable things. What are the immutable things? In which it was impossible for God to lie. I thought all things was possible with God. Can't lie. It's impossible for God to lie. Now, why? Huh? Yes, God is the truth. But what about the one who bringing it? Is it impossible for him to lie? That's what it say right here. It says, by two immutable things, in which it was impossible for God to lie, we might have a strong consolation who have fled for refuge. See, I seek refuge in the Lord of men, and he shall be for a sanctuary. We have fled for refuge to lay hold upon the hope. Those who believe in prophecy, what does prophecy give you? Gives you hope. Everybody saying, I hope I see the hereafter. I hope I see what God promised. I hope I see it come to pass. You ain't got the hope now. The Lord has come. You with me now? And if we suffer with him, we shall what? We shall reign with him. That's what the book said. Okay. You still haven't told me why it's impossible for God to lie. You got part of it. The truth cannot lie. Well, God is the truth. But God is the one that the truth is with, too. And once the truth ain't with him, he ain't God. Huh? Lord, God don't, a well don't bring forth both sweet and salt water. You get one or the other. The messenger said it like this. He said, if one word that I'm teaching is a lie, it's all a lie. He said he was the messenger of God. God is the truth. And if he lied, well, then he ain't the messenger of God. You found something I said to be a lie? I remember once the messenger was teaching, and he said the sun is 853 miles right straight through her. That wasn't no lie. That was a mistake. He the one taught us that the sun is 853,000 miles in diameter. Approximately. Those are approximate figures. It's just like the diameter of the earth. It fluctuates. The earth breathes. It's like your waist size. If you breathing and your stomach go out, it get a little bigger. Is that right? I'm not a person who harps on. I'm not a stickler for being in an infinite universe trying to talk in exact numbers. That's not intelligent. It's much more intelligent to do like scientists do. Said theoretically, we theorize this and we theorize that. The theory of relativity, as Einstein come up with, and that kind of thing. It's just like you have them sometimes them questions that are theoretical questions. If you could move as fast as light, then the people who could not, to you, it would appear that they were statues. Right? Even when they moving, to you, they still standing still. Is that right? Yeah. Why is that? Because if you are moving as fast as light, you're not by them long enough to see them move. If you just keep circling them and circling them and circling them, they don't never appear to move to you. Anyway, let's go to something else. I like to, since I can't find nobody to argue with, I'm always looking for somebody to argue with. That's how we get smarter. We don't get smart by talking to dumb people. We get smart by getting in a circle of scientists, of smart people, and listening to them. I told you, if you want to be successful, All you need to do is just get around successful people. It's just like all of the youngsters who trying to get good grades. Instead of beating up that little brainy brother or sister, you should befriend them and let them show you some of the shortcuts that they done learned. Let them show you some of the understanding that they seem to grasp. But you walk around here resenting them because they smart. That's the dumbest thing you could do. That's like a coach going out, looking at at least a man claim he wants to be a coach or wants to be a team owner. And he go get, you got to know your limitations, man. Why should an owner hire a coach for his team if he knows how to coach better than the one he hiring? But just because he owns the team don't mean he know how to coach it. He got sense enough to know that. At least they used to. I don't know what's going on with this world now. But the businessman, I've watched business people. And a businessman, a good businessman, sometimes he knows how to go and make money. He just don't know how to use it. Keep track of it. And so he gets him an accountant that knows something about managing money. And he'll even go to a stockbroker. Say, hey, man, what's something good to invest in? Say, that's what you do, right? I tell you what, you find me some good investments and I'll make you rich too. And now he got some incentive, don't he? There you go. So you find people who know what you don't know. And you say, hey, man, hey, come here. You look like you pretty on top of it, on top of stuff. I got something for you to work with here. And I'll share it with you. And that's how owners, they hire them a coach. The coach goes out and he looks for talent. He don't get mad when he sees somebody like Michael Jordan. No. He said, oh, this man gonna make us all rich here. Do you understand? We gonna make him rich too. We gonna make him happy. And that's how it goes. You notice rich people don't have no bunch of poor friends. It's not their fault if you ain't had sense enough to try to gravitate and go over there and if you know people that seem to have something going on, why resent them? It's just like, why would you resent me? And I'm offering to share with you what I know. And you mad because I know more than you. And I don't mean to insult you. That's just the truth. I know more than you. I know more than all of y'all. And that ain't me just boasting. That's the word of God. The book says the Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silence before him. Why should somebody keep silence before me if they know more than me? So you silent. Every time I open up the meeting, you always say when I invite you to come in here and say something, you be quiet. So don't say I'm insulting you. It's only an insult as if I say that and then you go to say something to me and I won't let you talk. That's what I heard Minister Farrakhan say once. Minister Farrakhan said, if you know somebody that's better guided than me, then bring them. He didn't mean that. It's just something he threw out there. Because I'm sure better guided than any of y'all. And when I tried to get his ministers to set up a meeting with us, they refused. They didn't want to act like I came out here and just talked about the minister. But I ain't came out here and did nothing. You didn't leave me no choice. Yeah, I'm going to tell on you. Just like that Geno Jennings character. If I had gotten in a conversation with him like I was doing when we got together, if we had a conversation like that over the telephone like he tried to do, he'd have never invited me there. Because he's a crook. And I'm proving to you all your preachers and stuff are crooks. Now you can get mad at me, brother, all you want. But the truth is the light. If you really thought you was God's representative, you'd be itching to get a hold to me. Because you would know that if I can convert this fella, he really would be a big help to me. Because he really believed what he teaching. Even Royal saw that. Royal told the people once when he was talking to him, he said it's a brother in Mississippi. And the brother actually believed he's the Son of Man. He knew that. I'm not gaming. If I didn't believe I'm the Son of Man, I wouldn't be standing up in front of the whole world offering you $20,000 if you can prove that I'm not, and leaving that phone line open and answering all of your questions and arguing with you if you type it or whatever, and from other countries or whatever. Is that the actions of someone who don't believe what they are saying? And before I take that back, I add some more to it. I got that from Brother Tanner. But that's the truth. You know, it's like, give me these pole lights, they can't see, every light want to go out when the sun is up. But when I'm standing up here teaching, I'm not telling you what I think. I told you weeks ago to order bulbs. I told you plenty of times. No, it don't make no difference. It don't make no difference, because every time you sit there, you should be checking to make sure that's your job. Now don't give me no buts. I don't want to hear that. You know, I don't give you no buts when it comes to my job. You know, so don't get it to me. You know, that's what makes us men. We don't make excuses for our shortcomings. We just correct ourselves. You understand? That's women too. You want to be treated like an adult, then stop thinking that you always have some excuse you can give for not performing the duties that's your duties. You see? Everything that we have, everything that we do, you better unplug that thing. Okay. We always, that's something that I want us to get out of. Whenever we don't make it, we look for somebody to blame. When we should be looking for a plan B. I promise you, you get out looking for a plan B, you get out there on that desert and without a spare and have a flat. I bet that won't happen to you but once. Because when you take yourself seriously, then you can tell when a person takes their self seriously because they always are serious with other people. And they always have their mind on their job. You notice you called me and asked me, son of man, are you busy? I said, well, I ain't never too busy to have a conversation with you if you need to talk to me. That's my number one purpose for being here. I don't forget what I'm here for. But these people in this world, the leaders, they're always too busy for you. They're supposed to be leading you. I got it. I got that. You don't put it in?
Yes, sir.
Now, they're always so busy. But it ain't that they busy. They just don't want to talk to you because they scared you might find out that they don't know more than you. That's why the devil, when the matter is decided, the devil will say, blame me not. Allah promised you the promise of truth, and I promised you and failed to fulfill. And I had no authority over you. I didn't know no more than you. That's what he's telling you when he said he had no authority over you. And you should have known he didn't know no more than you, because anytime a person really knows, a teacher is always looking for a student. But somebody that's just getting paid, they ain't looking for no student. Because you find out that they don't know nothing no more than you, you ain't gonna pay them no more. That's right. That's right. I'm just telling you the truth now. Let me show you an example. Now, I had one of my brothers. I rushed him to put something together for me. As I told you, just because we ain't talking about stuff, don't mean we done stop doing stuff. So I had my brother to put a little clip together. Now I'm not gonna play it from where he started it at, but I want to, we gonna get it right, and then we gonna put it online for you. But when we tried to do that tire shop, and we asked the people for some prices for tires, and the man said, "Have you got all the equipment in there yet?" They tell me he been watching us. And what that got to do with anything? If we gonna open up a tire shop, then I want to know what kind of wholesale and what kind of retail we gonna get. And when he wanted us to get it all set up first. I said, no, I'm not finna. We not finna go in here and set up no tire shop, and then can't get no tires, and then we got the shop there, and now somebody else can come in there. One of his buddies from over in the east somewhere can come in there and get it for little or nothing, and they make the money. No, I've been there. I done seen that rodeo before. Fixed up somebody's building. The next thing you know, he done jacked. I'm renting it. I fixed it up. Next thing you know, the rent done went up. And so I say, okay, well, that's my bad. That's my bad understanding. That's what that mean to me. My bad understanding. And don't be, if it ain't your property, then you better make some kind of agreement, arrangements with somebody before you start fixing up stuff, because they gonna jack the rent up. Because they seeing this is a capitalist society. They look at it and it's worth more. It's I can get more for it now. And he don't care about it. He didn't fix it up. If you fixed it up, well, that's his benefit, his gain, your loss, for not understanding that you should have got some kind of arrangement before you did it. But anyway, so I decided, because I had been showing you the progress on the tire shop. So we had to we had to decide, on what else we could do that we wouldn't have to look so much to outside people to help us with products and stuff. And so one of the sisters was already in business. We got some smart sisters as well as brothers. And so I spoke to the brothers about the sister. And them sisters that do hair. Now, the one who started the business is one of my followers. But she have some other sisters in there. They not following me. But them sisters, they can do hair. They really good at what they do. And so I told the brothers, let's fix it up and give it to the sisters to do. And they can help us, once they get in there, they can help us to start helping other people. Do you understand? That's the way business is done. That's what a cooperation is. That's all. If you look at the term cooperation, that's exactly what those people are doing. They are cooperating with one another, agreeing to help each other be successful. You know what we used to say when we see a black person opening a business? I get that nigga 6 months. I ain't going over there. I ain't make that nigga rich. I started, that I heard that so much growing up that I thought about putting up starting some kind of game show or something that say, let's make that nigga rich. I tried to say, let's make millionaires. Wouldn't nobody do it. I got 300 people that were signed up and was willing to do it. We can't do that with those 300 people. I needed 300,000 of our people to be willing to do it. That way you wouldn't miss the money that we was cutting checks. 300,000 people at $10 a piece a week. You wouldn't even miss it. That's $3 million a week. That's 3 millionaires that we could have made a week. And then I could have showed them how to do some things. I'm gonna tell you something. You wait. When some of these countries where black people are, when they wise up in their leadership invite me to help them, I'll show you what to do with people if you can get your nation of people to cooperate with you. Ain't nobody in America got no business being poor. And ain't nobody got to hurt nobody else to be rich. You see? And you won't be able to do what you can't steal this idea because you're too crooked. All you think about is yourself. You're always scheming on how to, you'll hear somebody, the people heard the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's ideas, and everybody and his brother now talking about do for self. You got that from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and then you corrupted it to turn it into some niggardly project. When somebody say, "Hey man, won't you unite with your brother?" The mother said, "Do for self." He also said, "Do for self and kind." But anyway, I'm here to change the landscape. And all of you who trying to stop my progress or trying to fight me, you soon not going to have no mind. It's already turning out that way anyway. You bringing that on yourself. I ain't mean you no harm. I ain't trying to do nothing underhanded to you. If you don't believe it, I've been here now since 1981 in Mississippi here. You ain't heard no FBI report coming up talking about we here doing some underhanded stuff. And some of the people that they ain't around no more, at least a lot of them ain't, used to be talking about we was bringing drugs in here. Yeah. Talking about I was dealing drugs. So I just asked them, well, if I've been dealing drugs, you ought to have somebody that done bought some from me. Tell me, come on in here and tell on me. They think that they had made it so impossible for a black man to make an honest living that if he being successful, he got to be doing something crooked. He don't got to be if he the Lord. Now, so I'm gonna start this video, and I want you to remember that this was the building we was working on, but when we couldn't get no straight answer about the cost of tires, I knew the jig was up. So we decided, I told the brothers, we're gonna turn it into a beauty salon and let the sisters get in there and handle it. What's taking so long now is I don't want to put no used furniture in there. I'm tired of opening up a new business with old stuff. And you ought to be tired of it. I don't want no secondhand. I remember when I was growing up, my daddy used to go to the secondhand store and get shoes for me. And he didn't care too much what the shoes looked like, as long as it had good soles on. Well, that's the truth. And I didn't understand. My daddy had nine of us, well, 10 of us, for one of my sisters passed when she was a baby, when they were sharecropping here. And this was before I was born. Geraldine, she died of pneumonia. But, I didn't know I didn't understand the fact that my daddy was spending more money on his family than the rest of the people. We had the bigger family. He had to spread his around. If we got three pair, it was 7 boys. And if we got 3 pair of pants apiece, that means my daddy had to buy 21 pairs of pants. And shirts and shoes and all that. So I really didn't have sense like I have now. I'm a daddy, and I know that it takes some maneuvering to be able to provide for your family. But Allah will help you. Allah will help you provide for your family. If you bring the child into the world, I'm not talking about this stuff that these people try. You don't have to force a woman to have a baby for you if you would show her that you a man, and if you would show her respect. But anyway, I wouldn't want no woman to have a baby for me that don't want no baby for me. Because what she thinking about you goes into that baby anyway. Why you think you got so much murder and stuff going on in the world? Where you think all these murderers coming from? You gonna get enough of trying to force a woman to bring a child into the world? And them children grow up and it's in them. Whatever she was feeling, they don't even know where it's coming from. But that's the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught me that. You got to be careful what you let your wife watch and experience while she's pregnant with your child. But anyway, so I want you to see this. This is some of the footage from the tire shop. Now we turn it into a beauty shop. For some of this. I'm gonna bring them on and let them. We're gonna interview them. Because I want you to understand something. It's one thing to say that you love your people. But if you ain't doing nothing for your people, you are a liar when you say you love them. I'm not a capitalist. I understand capitalism, but I'm not trying to be a capitalist. Because I see where that leads to. It just leads to rich niggas. Niggards. Rich, selfish people. Even when most of the people in this, now you're going to get mad at me, and you can be mad, but most of the people who are wealthy in this world, even when they give money away, it's so they can write it off as taxes to some nonprofit or whatnot. They fix it where it is not actually done because they want to help the poor. Because there's ways we could, the poor could be helped. And it could be a permanent fix for the poor and the needy. Not just in America, but if America would live up to what its potential was, America could have been a beacon and an example for the whole world of how to help self. Instead, those who have always trying to figure out ways to keep others from having, while pretending that they're trying to help. So, but I want you to see this.
Who you are, there's so time. You will find, you will
It's like what the president was talking about, boo-boo holes. America is full of boo-boo hole communities. You know, foreign countries, black countries ain't got no monopoly on poverty. It's white people right here in America living in poverty. And you know whose fault it is? Those who are in charge. When I was in school, the teachers used to say, the class can only go as fast as the slowest student. That's when teachers really cared about teaching. And they didn't literally mean they was going to hold you back. What they was saying was, I mean, when I was in school, your teachers didn't let you fail. They made you pay attention. And if you wouldn't pay attention, your behind was sore until you did pay attention. And, you know, naturally the child didn't like it. I didn't. I wasn't crazy about my teachers. I thought they was mean. I got straight A's, but I thought they was mean. When I got out of elementary school, all of that personal attention, that ended, and so did the straight A's. I liked going from one to another, one class to another. I could clown. And so, yeah, I told you, ain't no sense in me telling you I was no good little boy. No, I was not no good little boy. I was just like all the other boys. I learned to be tough. I learned to do everything to keep them bad actors off of me. Do you understand? So this is what, you know, I'm trying to get us knowledgeable of. So the first thing you need to see is where we brought these buildings from. Any community, when the white man found America, it was a boo-boo hole. It was just empty. Wasn't nothing there. You could boo-boo anywhere. I remember the messenger said this about him. No, I'm not justifying what he said, but I'm showing you that, you know, a wise man, even if he thought it, he wouldn't have said it. Because the only difference between a poor man and a rich man is what's going on in his head. The only difference between a savage and a civilized man is what's going on in his head. You wouldn't believe that the Caucasian, the European, at one time was walking around naked with hair growing all over his body and was walking around mimicking apes and swine in a cave. And now look at him. You would think that after knowing your beginning, you wouldn't make fun of anybody. You would see the value of people like we saw the value of you. We could have said, lead them savages, lead them crazy devils in the cave there. Let them eat each other and let them kill each other. But we didn't. We civilized you. That is the duty of the civilized man. It is to teach civilization to the savage. And the messenger asked us a question. If the civilized man fails to perform his duty, what must be done? He should be chastised with a severe chastisement. And you know, civilizing people is done more by deeds than by words. As in the old saying that they have, give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. Let him watch you go out there and how you caught that fish, and he can do the same thing and feed himself for the rest of his life. You have to stop. I want all my young brothers and sisters to listen to me. Parents, get your, especially your teenagers, and get them in here and let them hear this. When you graduate from high school, understand something. When you graduate from elementary, when you graduate from high school, when you graduate junior high, and when you graduate from high school, and when you graduate from college, know this. There's only a few of you that are future leaders. Not because you are lesser of a human being or lesser of a person, but it's because you don't have the brain power or the innate ability to command. But you do have the ability to be a team player. The problem with most people now is they want to be something that they are not able to be. The first step to being a man is knowing your limitations, knowing your abilities, and knowing your inabilities. And when you can own up to what you have the ability to do, then you can excel in that. And what you don't have the ability to do, you have nothing to feel ashamed of. You have nothing to feel slighted for, because you look at your body. Every member ain't a hand. There are other members that's your feet, And on the feet, they composed of members. Got toes. On your hands, there's fingers. You find what part of the body you are and be that. The duty of leadership is to help you find that. And then fix it where you can be the best that you can be at that. I remember I used to do maintenance work when I was growing up. I learned how to run a buffer, shampooer. I could run all them things by the time I was 13. I knew how to clean a building. I knew how to strip and wax floors. And I ain't felt ashamed at all. Because when I finished with that floor, wasn't no streaks in it. There wasn't no, I mean, when them people came in to their office building, that office building looked good. And I bet you ain't now one of them who was sitting up at them desks knew how to do what I knew how to do with that buffer and with them. And if you think that you have somebody to look down on, just think what it would be like if that person, if it wasn't no maintenance crew and you had to do it. If you think a plumber is somebody that you look down on, next time your toilet stop up, you climb up under there. You know, people are so stupid. You know, defecation stinks, don't it? It came out of you. Why don't you get rid of that bowel tract? Just get rid of it. It's full of stink. And it's inside of you. Well, you know you need it though, huh? You're going to get enough of looking down on people just because you may have a cleaner job than them. Or just because you may be able to wear a suit while they put on some coveralls. Or something worse. But ain't it nice that there are some people who don't mind climbing up under there and clearing your toilet out? And they should be very well paid. We should take care of them. It's no such thing. You should never have a society where people build mansions for other people and then go home living in a shack because they can't afford it. But you don't think like that. You're selfish. Anyway, just look at this.
In liberation strife, who more than self, country love, and mercy more than life.
When the Pilgrims came to America and saw a wilderness, they saw a place that was fit for more than just hunting and fishing. They saw an opportunity to begin to build a new world. And if you think that it wasn't a new world, they came from a place where, and their root is still there. Kings and queens were in charge. And they built a republic, a democratic republic, a nation not based on monarchies or men, but a nation that would be based on laws and upheld by men. That's why every man that takes the office, he takes an oath to uphold the law, the Constitution. They used to really believe in that. They used to really mean it when they took an oath to uphold the Constitution. They don't mean it no more. They doing with the Constitution what the hypocritical religious people been doing with the scriptures, rewriting them and making it reinterpreting it, making it agree with whatever they wanted to agree with, because they know that the people are ignorant and don't know. But anyway, let's listen. You see, ain't nobody disagreeing with me.
America, America.
So when we walked in this place, we saw opportunity. Not what it is, but what it had the potential to be.
May God thy gold refine till all success in nobleness.
You see, I wanted you to remember what the place looked like before. You go on that TCM, Turner Classic Movies, sometime maybe you will see, matter of fact, go on YouTube and pull up Amos and Andy and pull up some of the Stephen Fetcher old movies and see what black people had been reduced to by white people. As they have a song, before you accuse us, criticize and abuse, you walk a mile or so in our shoes. We were forced to build and other people inhabited it. We were forced to plant and other people ate what we planted and gave us the remnant of what they didn't want. And now you walk around mocking us?
Something like this. Listen here.
You see that? Look what it looked like. But let me tell you something. Anything that you inhabit that you don't do the work of building, I promise you, you're not going to appreciate it. Huh. That's why people get mad when you ask them, hey, don't let your child come in here and tear up the bed. We didn't understand. The average child walk in a building, they don't care about going there writing all over the wall and whatnot. And his parent don't either. Why? They don't know how much labor and money went into that wall and into them stairs and into that furniture. Now, them people don't want to build up something, let you come in there and tear it up. You want the world to change the way the world look at you and me, then we have to change the way we conduct ourselves. And you ain't going to change that if you don't start building for yourself. If you don't start taking a pumpkin and turning it into a coach, and taking raw lumber and turning it into a house, ain't nobody going to respect you. Especially somebody who's doing that. A man just cannot treat a boy as his equal. But a true man will not make mockery of the boy either, because he remembers he once was a boy. And a man had to guide him into manhood.
Oh, beautiful, spacious skies. I put them in.
Now, I'm going to start it from the beginning, that you saw what it looked like and remember what it looked like. Now I'll let you see just like Brother Love, he just happened to come by there today. And so I asked Brother to have Brother Love say something. Because he's the one, him and his partner, made that building available to us because they were going to let it go. And so we agreed to get it from him. And he's now pleasantly surprised at what he saw us do with that building.
Building that we're in right now, which used to be Brother Love.
Well, before the first time I came, I was in the used car jumping and didn't have nowhere to put them, and I didn't have no use for a building like this, but they was kind of on me by putting cars here and putting that. So I came here and I started working, doing a little mechanic work, and the building was too much for me. But at the price I got it from and the condition I had to pay, I couldn't lose. But as the years went by, about 18, 20 years, the building started deteriorating, and I didn't have the money to do anything to bring it up to any kind of force. So I know the brother, I can't think his name, that we were always talking. And he said he could do something with it.
I think that's Brother Mika.
Yeah, Brother Mika.
So we could do something with it.
Yeah, so the building really wasn't mine alone. I had a partner named Ike. And we got together with Ike, and him and I got together, and they took care of their part of the business. And then when it come down to me, I said, well, when y'all get able, you can do this. So I'm able, so they went on and took care of mine. We almost gave it to them. But I tell you what, when I came in here the first time, they done remodeled it, changed something. I don't know what this was when I came in at this time. It looked like something that they started from the floor and built it from scratch.
For us to come in, and now I got this beautiful facility, and I'm gonna come in here, and I'm sure some man has more in store for us. And again, I just want to thank you for allowing us this opportunity.
Well, I would like to say, I don't think the Son of Man have an end to nothing. I think everything he said gonna be the beginning. So God bless Son of Man and all of that. I love
So
you.
from Brother Loves
Yeah.
to the new season's grade 2. Thank you.
Thank you.
The doubts in my life, I've been wondering why. Still somehow I believe all will survive. I'm not so sure you're waiting here. One try. What more can I say? What's left to provide? Baby, it's true. Are you gonna wait for the sign? Your miracle. Standing behind. This is it. Ain't no mistake where you are. You've got to look out now. This is it. Don't get fooled anymore. This is it. The waiting is over. Don't run. No way. Time for wondering why. It's here. The moment is now. Allow me to decide. Let me live deep in me. Keep me near in your heart. Oh, whatever. Here by your side. Baby, it's true. Oh, say it loud, if you feel it now. Stand up and run. This is it. Ain't no mistake when you are. This is it. You've got to look out now. This is it. Don't get fooled anymore. This is it. The waiting is over. Don't want to wait. The doubts in my life, I've been wondering why. Still somehow I believe all will survive. I'm not so sure you're waiting here. One try. What more can I say? What's left to provide? Baby, it's true. Only you know what it do. Are you gonna wait for the sign? Your miracle. Standing behind. This is it. Ain't no mistake when you are. This is it. You've got to look out now. This is it. Don't get fooled anymore. This is it. The waiting is over. Don't want to run. No way. Time for wondering why. It's here. The moment is now. Allow me to decide. Let me live in me. keep me near in your eyes. Oh, whatever you're by your side. Baby, it's true. Oh, say it now, if you feel it come. Stand up and fight. Make no mistake when you are. You're going through life. This is it. Let's get it all together. Oh, what can I tell you for you? It's not up to me to say today and every night. This is how make no mistake when you are. You're going no further. I'm doing something that does. One way or another. This is your back to the corner. The waiting is over. You got no further. This is
I see the crystal raindrops fall, and the beauty of it all is when the sun comes shining through to make those rainbows in my mind. When I think of you sometime, and I want to spend some time with you, just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky, just the two of us. You and I. We look for love, no time for tears. Wasted water's all that is, and it don't make no flowers grow. The things might come to those who wait, not for those who wait too late. We gotta go for all we know. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building them castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I. I hear the crystal raindrops fall on the window down the hall, and it becomes the morning dew. And darling, when the morning comes and I see the morning sun, I will be the one with you. Just the two of us.
Now, before I let that finish playing, I want to say that I told the brothers to tell the company that installed the doors, they had put the other doors in for us. And they usually ask you for something down. And I told him to tell him that Just go ahead and put them in. Tell them the Son of Man said you'll get your money. They didn't change words with him. They came on out there. They put the doors in, and they got their money. But the point is, when you get to dealing with people and you deal with people with honesty and integrity, your word is good enough for them. Make your word good. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught me that.
We can live it if we try. Just the two of us, building things like the way of time. Just the two of us, you and I.
For the times I let you down, all the days when I chose hate over love. If I feel things what I feel now, I'll smile. I smile at the storm and behold. They don't care, they don't see, they don't know it's true. They can endure all we've obtained. They can curse, they can leave, and reject us to try. But there's one thing about faith, with you can get through it. You'll be stronger. It's your life. It's your life. It's your life. It's your life. Don't forget who you are. Just so child. Here we find, here we stand, here we ride, here we dream. So never forget who you are. Oh, beautiful. heroes prove can liberate strife. Who more than self, their country love, and the mercy more than life. America, America, make God thy gold refine, till all success be noblest, and every gain divine. You know, when I was in school, we used to sing it something like this. Listen here. Oh, beautiful by spacious skies, by amber waves of grain, by purple mountain majesties, the pretty plain. But now wait a minute, I'm talking about America, sweet America. You know, God done shed his grace on thee. He crowned like good. Yes, he did. Any brotherhood from sea to shining sea. You know, I wish I had somebody to help me sing this. America, I love you, America. You see, my God, he done shed his grace on thee. You're loving boy, because he crowned like good. He told me he would, every brotherhood. From sea to shining sea. I thank you, Lord.
As far as I'm concerned, ain't nothing too good for my people. It ain't good enough. We want you to have heaven where you had hell. We're not trying to step on nobody to get up. If someone is in a position where you got to step on them, you have no business stepping on them. You need to reach your hand down and pull them up. So I wanted you to see we still working. Next week we're going to go on and order the blow dryers and things. This takes quite a bit of money, and we in the middle of projects down here, and the people ain't really donating to the Unity Fund. So like I would like them to. But I figure that you soon will start. Meanwhile, I thank those who are following me for making monies available so we can do these things. And I thank every one of you that have been donating that $5. But I was hoping that once you saw what we are doing, that you would increase and do more, because it's for you. So I want to uh, uh, tell you that everything that you see that we are doing, it is an overall plan to get us together to lift ourselves up instead of always looking to the government and everybody to give us something. We can give ourselves something. The messenger told us that we need to, he said it actually hurt. And I agree, to see our people, and some of them as leaders, over there begging the white man to give them something. He said, give you nothing. You can give yourself something now. What else he going to give you after he set you free to go and get for yourself? We can go and do for ourselves if we don't be lazy. And the book prophesied that we would rebuild the waste cities. That's an example. That building was about to go to condemnation. We brought it back. And it looks beautiful. Even Brother Love said it looked like it wasn't even his old building. He said it looked like it just something we built from the ground up. That's where it's supposed to look. And it ain't nothing used in there. And we getting ready to get them brand new dryers. I guess either tomorrow or Monday, we'll go on and order them and get that in there. And we're going to have a ribbon cutting pretty soon. This man had offered us some blacktop back there. I was thinking about putting a lawn back there and blacktop, or either some concrete for parking, for them to park their cars that work there. They can park in the back there, and that leave the front open for customers to pull in. But there's a lot of things that we want to do, and I don't like makeshift. If you want to be accepted as equals, you must do things equal to other people. And so when that salon is open, it will be just as nice as anything that's in New York or any place else. And for the sisters that braid there, they do some beautiful work too. I have to give it to them. And now they have some shop that's equal to their ability. And the brothers did such a wonderful job on it. Anything that I ask them to do, they do it. Even if I get a little hard to get along with, they say, "Well, I guess we could do that too." And but them brothers got in there. You saw they got in there and got it together. We have some talented men. All praises due to Allah. So we got things going on here in Mississippi that we will be showing you pretty soon. It's not enough for us to build things. Now we got to maintain these things. That's one thing I've watched. I remember when McDonald's first came out. Every so many years, you see McDonald's change the look of their places. they put some of that money back in there. You can't just open something up and then 30 years later it's looking like no. If you want to be successful, copy the successful man. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Man showing you how to be successful. As they say, in order for you to make money, you got to be willing to spend some. Nobody want to. Most people, when they get ready to spend some money, they don't go to no rundown place. They get dressed up and they go to some place that is decent. Well, we got to fix up. We're gonna get with the city if we need to. Get a permit, and we're gonna fix the sidewalks in front of the place, and we're gonna. As we get enough of you all in business, we can help the city. We can partner with the city and fix the streets and stop trying to put it all on the tax payers. That lower the property taxes when the city have businesses in there that's helping do stuff. It's supposed to be a partnership. So we learning. We didn't know how it go, but I pay attention. You see, so and because I pay attention, I'm teaching you to pay attention. Yeah, that's what as they say, you don't always get what you pay for, but you will always pay for what you get. You don't always get what you pay attention for. Sometimes people give you some foolishness, but you will always have to pay attention for whatever knowledge and understanding you get. You got to pay attention. You understand? I'm trying to show you other levels of thinking. So we want to say about Sister Ida lost her father. So we're not going to. You can have prayer tomorrow on your own. So I going to, go there and honor her and her family. So I want you to remember to continue this kind of work. Everywhere we go, progress should follow us. People won't hate to see you coming if progress come with you. But if everywhere, you remember that little character in Charlie Brown, Big Ben? Everywhere he went, the little cloud of dust and nasty went with him. Is that right? Yes, sir. Well, that character, who that character resemble? The so-called Negro. Everywhere we go, property value go down because we go in there and we tear it up. Look, I told you, before you condemn other people, you got to look at yourself and take your blame too. I want all of you who live in a black town, who live in a town where black people are in charge. If that town is run down, that's your fault. Ain't nobody's fault, excuse me for saying yours. It's ours. But I ain't in every black town. But I could be through the internet. If you don't know how to get something going, My phone number is 601-786-9742. That's my landline. 601-786-9742. 601-786-9742. My cell phone is 601-786-1332. My cell phone is 601-786-1332. And you feel free to call me, and I'll work with you. We have to start networking for the betterment of ourselves and our community. And stop waiting on somebody to come in here and do something for us. We sound like the talking and walking dead. It's like people laying over in the cemetery. I wish somebody come here and cut this grass. Because the corpse got an excuse. He can't get up and cut it. But if that cemetery looking good, ain't none of them, it ain't because the inhabitants is doing anything. That's the way our community have been up to this point. If our community look good, it ain't because we did it. But it's going to start being because we did it. Now, there's many things that I would like to help you do. But I can't talk about it because there's people don't want to see you do nothing. So you'll have to find it out when it's time to do it. And I have a lot in my head. I could have did a whole lot more if all these millionaires would have gave me a chance, would have looked at what I've done with these nickels that you gave me. If they had helped me, man, we could be on our way. It's things that we need to do. We need to properly educate our children. We need to re-educate our parents. And we need to stop worshiping lies. It's time to recognize that there ain't no, we are in a society where everybody likes some fast food or something quick fix. Ain't nobody can change the reward that you're going to get for your life but you. Don't make no difference how much right I stand up here and share with you. If you don't take what I share with you and start practicing it and change yourself, your sins going to be your sins. And you're going to be paid for them. Do you hear me? You can't say I didn't try. I got in front of the whole world and I told you I'm the Son of Man. And I told the world, anybody, I said it in front of you. If anybody can prove I'm not, I will give you $20,000 and pay with my life for lying if that's not who I am. Then why would you sit up and listen to somebody talk me down behind my back? when you know I gave them the opportunity to confront me to my face? Man got surprised because he found out God is a Muslim. Well, God is the first Muslim. He the first one that submits to his own will. He ain't no hypocrite. What kind of man tell you to do right and he won't? Well, I've lived like you long enough. It's just, this stuff done got old. It's time to move on. So I'm telling you that we ought to be sick of sin by now. We sure sick from sin. Time to do better, brothers and sisters. And I want you to know that I'm on your side. I try to show you that I'm on your side. Now you know that you can look at that place and tell there's thousands upon thousands have been put into it. That's what I do with what you give me. I'm not trying to leech off of you. That's not my purpose. My purpose is to uplift you. How in the world can we walk around here posturing, talking about how great we are, and people look at you as an individual and then look at your people all living in poverty and squalor and filth? Do you honestly think they're going to respect you? You are an aberration to them. You are the exception to the rule. I don't want nobody looking at me wagging their head. There go one of them. Look at that. No. No, I wish that I had the help that I wanted from you, because I would have liked to have put something up to make President Obama as proud of us as I was and we should have been of him. I mean, he wore the mantle of President of the United States with dignity and respectability. And he conducted himself like a civilized human being should, despite the racism that was aimed at him. Even though he's a Christian by name. I looked at what the Holy Quran said about those nearest to the prophets in faith. You know, faith without works is what? Okay. So when it says in faith, it's saying in work. The ones who nearest to the prophets in their work are those who say we are Christians. And um, that's the one thing that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and myself are a testimony to, that both of us had a background in the church. You know, his father was a staunch believer in the Word of God. My mother was a staunch believer in the Word of God and taught me to believe in it. And all my life, she drilled that into me to treat other people like you want to be treated. I didn't always do that. Ain't no sense in me lying. But it bothered me when I didn't do it. Like that time I let this brother named Dickie talk a group of us into rolling this other brother because he was drunk. I felt so guilty I went and gave the money away at lunch. I should have went and gave it back to the man, but I was scared he's going to get me. And but I ain't never do nothing like that no more. I never should have let him talk me into that. Every time I saw that brother after he sobered up, even though he didn't remember us, I always felt bad. So don't do things that make your conscience get on you. Don't. When you see people do evil, don't try to justify doing evil too by saying they did it first. Could be that was your test. Now that don't mean when people attack you, don't defend yourself. Certainly defend yourself. And put their hands on you, you try to make sure they don't put them on nobody else. But as far as people curse at you and all of that kind of, don't you start cussing. You just keep on walking. Or just, sometimes it helps to say, oh, did I offend you in some manner? If I did, I did not mean to. A soft word turns away wrath. People, sometimes you accidentally do something that offends a person and you don't even know you offended them. So if they tell you, then be quick to say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean no offense to you. I wasn't even aware I did that. Don't be quick to fight. Be quick to make peace. Do you understand? All right. So, ain't that a nice looking shop? Yeah. Anybody be proud to go in there. Now they got to get furniture for the lounge and that kind of thing. But when it's open, it's gonna have all that in there already. I think I already saw a flat screen TV in there, and that's nice. That's what I want to see. I want people to be comfortable. I want people to feel like they can get dressed and go to your business. They ain't got to go home and redress. They can go on out and do what they was getting ready to do. So I want to say to the brothers, you made me so proud that you got in there. And I mean, you laid that place, man. Let me tell you. Just looking at it on there, I can't wait to get up there and cut the ribbon. So I say within next couple of weeks or so, we should have a ribbon cutting up there. So, and then we move on to the next project. Not sit back, talking about we done something. Have you traveled across this country? I remember once I was talking to excuse me for saying Minister Kareem. And I was talking to him about this little stuff here when we first built this building. And I told him, I said, this ain't nothing compared to what white people got. He looked at me and he said, brother, we don't compare apples to oranges. We compare apples to apples. He said, so, you know, in other words, the messenger said the same thing when he said, who wants to help an old horse? He said, we are lazy. That's what we are. He said, who wants to help an old horse that don't want to do anything but lay down in the lot? He said, why, it's disgusting. Really disgusting. Roust him up and tell him, you can't pull the tractor, pull the plow. I can't go out here and build no skyscraper. Not yet. But I can sure build a little theater. I can build a schoolhouse. I can build a beauty salon and work my way up to building them other things. Like that man who building them skyscrapers now, he started off building log cabins. He can still build a log cabin. And the log cabin he built now is a whole lot prettier than the one he first started with. Yeah. But, you know, you got to crawl before you can walk. So I know what we doing ain't nothing compared to white people, but it's plenty compared to other black people. So let's do more. Let's just keep on and stop harming each other. Stop making your own community unsafe to walk in. Come on. Just be patient. If you be patient and work with me, I promise you, all of you going to have plenty. You will have plenty. Just work with me. You don't see me in no big hurry to get in no big house and all that stuff. I want us, well, let's work together and build something so that when we get in a big house, we won't be trying to figure out how we're going to stay there. You get with me and pretty soon you'll see. You be in a big house and you won't even have no house, no. Only thing you be paying is property taxes. And that won't be forever. Because you get with me and enough of you get with me, we'll have our own country.
Hey, how you doing, son of man?
I'm not complaining. And yourself?
I'm doing fine. I just wanted to say I just got me a job. I started today, so I'm pretty happy.
Very good.
I want to thank you for encouraging me.
Very good. Don't forget to send me a little money now. Okay. You know we can't build nothing without money. And you can't send no money without no job. So I want y'all to make sure that you put something aside. Say this is for the Son of Man. All you doing is investing in your own future. When you give me something, you giving yourself something. Yeah. So I want to, did any of you have something you wanted to ask me?
Yes, sir. You have a question?
Yes.
Marie Lee, and she asks, can you comment on banks' interest rates for savings and checking accounts compared to credit card loans, and why no politicians are addressing this issue?
Well, first of all, you know, the politicians are now controlled by the people who own the credit card companies. So you can forget that. But as far as, you know, when you have good credit, you can get credit card rates comparable or even less than what the average bank charge you on a loan. I mean, some credit cards, they give you 8% interest. Now, as opposed to, you know, I think the banks now, they are at 8 or 9% interest. So, you know, if you have good credit, you pay your bills. When you borrow money from people, feel like you are locked up until you pay them. Make sure that you honor your obligation. I don't know of any business that could be in business for long without credit. You know, you need to be able to have credit in order to get in business. And if you make your word good, when you borrow from people, you are giving them your word that you're going to pay them back. Just like with me, I would never take, me personally, I would never take advantage of the lender who loaned me money by, you know, getting one of them deals from these people who offer to sell your credit card bill for less than it's due, simply because, you know, you don't have no collateral. Credit cards are given without collateral. That's somebody trusting your word. I don't never want people to think my word is no good. I want everybody that deal with me to try to convince me to borrow more. You know, when people try to get you to borrow more from them, it's because they know if they get you to borrow, you go pay it back. And that makes me getting a loan easy. You see, I can get a loan fairly easy now if I need one. The banks, my banker, he knows me. The bank I deal with, they know me, and they know if I borrow money from them, I'm gonna pay them. And my credit cards, I got pretty good credit with them. I get a letter sometime where they done raise my limit and all that kind of thing. And so that's good. But I make sure that, you know, I understand that that's not just me, that's my followers, that I'm using your money to do these things for you. It's not for me personally. It's your money. I'm just investing it for you. I reinvested your money in Sister's Braid too. That's your money. You know, I mean, America been doing that. They reinvest tax money, and look what they did to Solyndra. Yeah, they may have took a loss, but they've reinvested. That's how the internet got here. The taxes that the government was taking, they invested it in the research that brought about the internet. You know, you got to invest in your people. You know, so I don't, when I see talented people, if I see a brother or sister that can, it's not that I would like to go into the business, but if I see someone energetic and want to go into a business and they think that they can do it, well, I'll let them go ahead. What can I do to help you? That's the way America works. You help your business people go in business because that's going to generate more revenue. We live in this world and ain't learned nothing. It's time to start learning from what you see going on around you. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
I want you to be successful. You can't be successful doing things the way that it's been done up to now. We got to change the way we conducting ourselves, because the way we've been conducting ourselves ain't got us nowhere. People telling you, don't help me. Well, what you gonna do then? Why not help me? Ain't nobody else doing nothing for you. They're too busy trying to do something to you. So you put the money in my hand and I'll show you. I'll put that money right back in your hand later. That's another reason I'm called the Son of Man. You put one seed in the earth and trust the sun to put some rain on it and sunlight on it. Next thing you know, you got a tree full of fruit, full of seeds from one seed. Don't nobody give dividends like God does. You invest your money with me and see if you don't see it coming back to you. Yeah, you'll see it coming back to you. You know, if I had the kind of funds that I need, that theater would have been finished. We'd have been over there developing them 50-something acres we got there. In time, we'd have been putting up condos and stuff over there now. If I had the kind of money that I need, I could hire people to go on and do something. But no, can't afford to hire nobody, so I had to go in there and do the work myself. Had to get the brothers, me and the brothers have to get there and go make some money and then go and do it. You see? But I can't go out there and get a job. I got a job. My job is to guide you to success. That's why Allah told me that He authorized tithes and offerings for me. You're supposed to give me tithes so that I can have something to work with to do for you. Tell you what, You think any government can function in this type of world without money, without taxes? You stop, they stop collecting taxes, the government will shut down. They won't come looking crazy at me because I tell you I need my tithes. Them things ain't cheap. That glass front on that building, them doors ain't cheap. Things cost over $3,000 a piece. You can't. There ain't nobody giving us nothing. So let us get together. You put it in my hands, and I guarantee you, you will see it coming back to you later. You know, instead of trying to figure out how little you can give me, you should be trying to figure out how much you can give me. Well, it's late. But you notice the banks now, I think you can get those maybe special accounts they have, they give you 2% interest on your money. But I'm going to tell you something. If you would get with me, we could have millions of dollars, and you could get more by reinvesting your money into businesses and things that would generate more capital for you. I'd show you how. You know, it's a lot of things that we could do that is not being done because I can't get you to help me. If I could get your help, we could do plenty. Anyway, it's 5 minutes before we go off. Did anybody else have something they wanted to ask me? Well, like I said, you know, I mean, don't be so quick to make excuse. If you know you did something, then find what you did. Put your stuff where you know it, you can have it. I just don't like excuses. You know that. You know I'm going to say something when I need something that I know you're supposed to be on top of. But don't give me an excuse. I don't want to hear no excuses. You know, that's what leadership is supposed to do. Leadership is like fathers. A father is supposed to help his son be a man. You can't make a man out of your son as long as you let him offer you a bunch of excuses of why he couldn't do nothing. Always some excuse. Men don't offer excuses. Your mama will let you have excuses all day long. And she said, okay, baby. Man, 40 years old, sitting up in jail, and his mom said, me call my baby. That's my baby calling. Yes, that's what's wrong. You never let him grow up. My mother didn't see me as her baby after I got a family and whatnot. My mother saw me as a man. Because I act like a man. And we be calling my mama. I get in trouble. Mama, can you get me out? Can you bail me out? No, mama didn't get you in there. You know, whenever I called her, she know that it wasn't for nothing but to see how she was doing. Even if I was in trouble, I wasn't calling her. No. I don't need to be worrying her. I ain't never seen my daddy cry or whining because of nothing that was happening to him. He manned up. Time for us to man up, man. You let nobody tell you, nah, you don't let nobody make you weak like that. You don't do what you're supposed to do, and they say, well, that's all right. No, it ain't all right if I didn't do what I was supposed to do. It ain't all right until I do it. And all I can say is I'm sorry for not getting it done like I was supposed to. And that won't happen no more. So we have to accept responsibility. That's what man means. It means to take charge. And if you don't take charge of what you have charge of, you cannot claim the title man. So God defined man in his image here, which is these words, these images that represent words. Let us make man in our image. The prophets put these books together. And if you want to be a man, then this image here will teach you how. And are we clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. Wa alaikum as-salam.
Man, I wanted to tell you that the place of the salon is really beautiful.
Well, all praise is due to Allah. I think it is too. It's just so nice.
That's all I wanted to say.
Our brothers really,
Assalamu
wa alaikum as-salam. Our brothers did a wonderful job. They gave me what I asked for. That's what I want. You know, I don't like nothing ugly. That's an old saying. You know, God don't like ugly. Well, you know, like I said, you know, God can't lie because the word is with God and the word is the truth. That's how you know he's God. He don't stand up and lie to you. Huh? Yeah. God's not a liar. The devil is a liar. He was a liar from the beginning, a murderer from the beginning, and did not abide in the truth because there ain't no truth in him. That's what the book says. So I'm going to let you go. May Allah bless us, keep us safe and in our right minds, and help us to keep working. And let's pool our resources and do for ourselves and stop looking for white people or anybody else to come and do for us. Let's do for ourselves. People had an old saying, if you want something done right, do it yourself. All right? Okay. And may Allah's salam alaikum. You know, I had noticed the other